papers? No. You can only respond through right set of preparation by which you can respond to the toughest of paper, but you can't change the paper. Same is the case with the person. If you find there are few people who are continuously abusing you or saying bad words about you, you cannot control them. Just like you can't control the opponent team from sledging. So what you need to do is you just need to stick to your plan and just forget about what people are saying for you. When things go wild, you know what happens to us? We sometimes react in a very badly, which we regret later. The stimulus of a person conspiring against us, abusing against us, makes us do all this wrong actions. A person says to us, hey you, and we started reacting. In our life, we will always face such situation. So we need to remain focused and just try to be in a right frame of mind so that we can develop this habit of responding rather than reacting. Now coming back to today's meeting. In today's meeting, we have 4 specific sections. The first section would be prepared speeches. There would be 3 speakers. Then we will be having a table topic session. And in the third, there would be evaluation section. And in the last, we have our showstopper or a great presentation to motivate ourselves by our club coach, Toastmaster Rahul. So without much ado, I would like to start today's proceeding by calling our G for today's meeting, Toastmaster Aditya. Please give him a big round of applause.
Thank you, Toastmaster Deven, for that introduction. And I'll be the general evaluator for this afternoon's meeting. And as the term general evaluator says, I'll be evaluating each and every aspect of the meeting, whether we followed all the video conferencing protocols and the nitty-gritties of the meeting. And I'll be giving my report at the end of the meeting. But before that, I will not be doing all the roles myself. I have a set of supplementary evaluators, or what I like to call my A team, and they will be the R counter, grammarian, and the timer. So I would start with another new member joining a club, and I would like to give the stage to the R counter, Toastmaster Shivansh. Toastmaster Tanweer. Sorry.
Hi, thank you. Thank you so much, General Aditya, for this opportunity. So, Toastmaster of the day, good morning, fellow members and Toastmasters guests. My role as our anchor is to count the number of unnecessary sounds or repetitive words you may use when you are speaking on the stage. I'll be observing and taking note of words such as you know, like these are filler words that affect an effectiveness of a speech. I will present my report when called upon by General Evaluator. Back to my Aditya, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Tanweer. Our second role player is, we have a specially added role, and that will be a role of the listener, where the listener will listen to each and every aspect of the meeting, and the listener will ask us questions. So for that, I would like to call upon Sonika as the listener.
Good evening, good morning, everyone. I'm the listener today. As Toastmaster, Deven bring the theme, respond, not react. So we even won't be able to respond if we don't listen. We have to listen first to respond. So listening is a very important quality. So I will be listening the whole meeting and will bring some questions, and I will test who listens the meeting carefully. So I will present my report in the evaluation section later. Back to the G.
Thank you, Sonika. We also have another role player as a grammarian who will be testing your grammatical skills, whether you had the correct usage, incorrect usage. They will also be giving some recommendations as well as the word of the day and the idiom of the day. So for that, I would like to call upon our newest member, Toastmaster Shivansh. Yeah, he's there. Yes.
Now,
Carry on.
yeah, good morning, all Toastmasters and fellow guests. Like as pointed by the general evaluator, I am the grammarian for the day, and I'll be pointing out the mistakes and providing suggestions for the same. I'll also be keeping a track of the number of times the word of the day and the idiom of the day has been used. The word of the day is reciprocate. It is a verb which means to respond to a gesture or action by making a corresponding one. Some examples of this word are the student's favor was reciprocated by the teacher. Another example is to reciprocate was not in Amit's nature. The idiom of the day is to answer someone back. It is an informal idiom which means to respond angrily or rudely at an inappropriate or unwelcome time. Some examples of the idiom are her habit of answering back to the teachers got her in deep trouble. The example is he was gone before Harry could open his mouth and answer back. I'll be sharing my report at the end of the meeting, and my profile picture will be displaying the word of the day and the idiom of the day and their meanings for as to be used as much as possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Shivansh, for that novel idea of having the word of the day displayed throughout the meeting. That's a very novel idea, and we will reciprocate by using the word of the day and the idiom of the day. Now, this ends my first half of the meeting, and I will be back in the third section with my report, with the reports of the speech and the supplementary evaluators. Till then, it's goodbye from me, and I will hand over the stage back to our main anchor, the TMOD Toastmaster Deven.
Aditya. So now this is the time to start our prepared speeches section. Our first speaker is Toastmaster Lakshya. Before I introduce or tell something about him, I would like to call upon his evaluator for today, Toastmaster Mansi, to please share his speech objective. Toastmaster Mansi.
Morning, everyone.
Morning.
Toastmaster Lakshya is giving a prepared speech of level second. The purpose of the speech of the project is for the member to apply his or her understanding of social media to enhance and establish a new social media presence. The purpose of this speech is for the member to share some aspects of his or her experience establishing or enhancing a social media presence. All the best, and over to Toastmaster Deven.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mansi. So before I invite him, Toastmaster Lakshya, on stage, I would like to share one interesting fact about him or an incident. So recently, last week, he rides his macho bike, Royal Enfield Bullet. So he was riding on this bike and he was going somewhere. So suddenly he met with an accident with another two-wheelers. And that mistake was from the other person. But even though that person was shouting on him, and Toastmaster Lakshya, being a karate black belt, could have given him a befitting reply. But instead of it, he just said sorry and moved ahead to avoid the argument. So that is the example of responding which he showed recently. So now give big round of applause to Toastmaster Lakshya. Toastmaster Lakshya, importance of social media. Importance of social media, Toastmaster Lakshya.
Hello. Good morning, everyone. Good morning to all the guests and the Toastmasters. And it's my first ever online speech, and for that I would like to thank to Toastmaster Deven and to Toastmaster Rahul for that. So let me start with that. We all use social media, don't we? And today I'm going to share my own experience, how I enhance my social media profile, and how social media helps me to evolve as a person. Don't we all agree that social media is a great platform where we can connect with like-minded people and share similar thoughts with them. Even marketers use these platforms today to develop their brands and to reach out to more people to get more sales. Gone are the days when the traditional methods like news articles and newspapers were used. Nowadays, more and more marketing techniques used through these social media platforms. But at the same time, we have to be very vigilante while using these social media platforms. Like we we should not use these platforms to over posting anything, and we should also vigilante what we are seeing and what we are posting it. So my request for those who use social media is that first they have to be very careful that what they are posting it, and second, whatever they are posting, they should also check their facts first. So now let me tell you my own experience of using social media. Uh, in a you, I recently developed a YouTube profile in which I connect with those people who love the sports and who are in the martial arts fraternity, and I make some videos of myself doing some martial art stuff, and I also made some blogs regard that. And after that, I held a Q&A session with YouTube all over the world with like-minded people. And I assume I amazed that all over the world I get a response that how I can improve my skill, what I can do to enhance my profile, and what are the other things that I can do to build myself as a good martial artist. And believe me, with that experience, I get a lot of uh, answers from around the world, and they tell me what I need to do and what I don't need to do. With that, I share these same kind of videos through different channels, like from WhatsApp, from Facebook, and from also I share some of the videos to LinkedIn as well. So some are the formal ways to perform to get the audience, and some are informal. But nowadays, WhatsApp, which is firstly used as a informal purposes, now it used for a formal purposes as well. More and more managers use WhatsApp to create their team and to develop their targets. And through all the WhatsApp now your WhatsApp are nowadays using for the purpose of getting sales as well. Like I was in sales, and my manager used the WhatsApp group to enhance the sales even from the comfort of their home. Now let me tell you a few pointers to develop your social media platform. First, you need to create your profile. Second, you need to first connect with people who are like-minded with your thoughts. And third, then you have to share some videos or some blogs and keep posting them again and again with a time with a particular time frame, so you can keep connecting with them. Number third, what you can do, you can hold some Q&A session which help you enhance your social media platform. Let me also share some of the fun facts about the social media. As of December 2019, our population of the world is 7.8 billion, of which internet users are 4.8 billion, and active users of social media are 3.5 billion. So you can understand how big is the social media platforms are, and you can connect to all over the world through these social media platforms. On a daily average person use 142 minutes on social media. So if you want to develop yourself as a brand, or you want to develop your organization, social media is a great platform to enhance your skills and to enhance your brand and to enhance yourself. So that's my experience with the recently YouTube, and I'm hope to reach more and more subscribers to develop more good videos in future times. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Toastmaster Lakshya. Very pertinent topic. We all are using this social media to conduct our regular meeting. So it's a kind of beneficial for us as well. Now it's the time to call our second speaker. Our second speaker is Toastmaster Prashant. And before I call him on stage, I would like to call upon his evaluator. Just to check, there's some problem with my screen. Yeah. So before I invite him on stage, I would like to call upon his evaluator, Toastmaster Gopal. So Toastmaster Gopal, please share a speech objective for Toastmaster Prashant.
Hello everyone. Toastmaster Prashant is going to deliver his speech from L2, Pathway L2, Project 1. And the objective of the speech is to identify his leadership style and to share some aspect of his primary leadership style and or discuss leadership in general. Timer, please note, time allocated to Prashant is 5 to 7 minutes. Best of luck, Prashant.
So before I open a stage for Toastmaster Prashant, I would like to share his philosophy. So he says about responding and reacting. He says, like, whenever you are in argument, if instead of reacting, if you can show your smile to the other person, it will change the psyche of the other person and change that argument altogether. So now I call Toastmaster Prashant on a stage to deliver his topic, which is Discover the Leader in You. Discover the leader in you, Toastmaster Prashant. Please give him a big round of applause.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Hope you can hear me. Just show your hand. Okay. As John Maxwell said, leaders become great not because of their power, but because of their ability to empower others. A great leader encourages others to lead to better themselves and the people around them. And for that, one leadership style is not enough. Sometimes a leader has to behave like a bureaucrat to complete short duration results, authoritative to focus on end results, innovative to solve complex problems, pace setter to move with speed, a coach to bring the best from within, democratic to get the democratic to lead by examples, and last but not the least, altruistic to meet the individual needs. But yes, everyone has a core leadership style that makes him different from others. My style of leadership is coaching. That means to bring the best from within. And I'm into this coaching for last 5-6 years and doing well. To quote an example, when I was into job, my profile was as a quality coach. And I had to provide the feedback and coaching to the employees to bring the best from within so that they can perform well from the next time. And to fulfill the needs of effective coaching, I had to communicate well, lead by examples so that they can perform well. When they perform, whatever they do in their profile, they come with their best version. But I believe it's a channel where better leaders create better leaders by providing the tools and techniques available to them, like Train the Trainers program, workshops, seminars, webinars, and sometimes uploading the information on different channels. Being into my profession of coaching and training, I ensure that I create more leaders and coaches. And I believe that effective leadership is very much required. So I follow this pattern to create leaders and coaches. People who come to me to get their desired life, I coach them on those tools and techniques. They feel the change, they get the change, they observe that change in the short span of time, that they get their desired life. There are a lot of examples, like people who came to me for the problem of insomnia, Alzheimer, past painful memories, and getting the way they want to reach to. And then they also become coaches. They transform them into the coaching profile. But yes, there are a lot of live examples, and within this short duration, I won't be able to discuss all of them. When I'm talking about coaching, a coach has to understand his true worth. He should be ready to create more leaders and coaches, not only in his clients, but in his co-leaders too. And here I have a question from all of you. Do you believe that leadership is a quality that comes by birth? How many of you agree with that? Just raise your hands. Yes, but what I believe, some leaders are the born leaders, and we can see that in their living style too. But some of them become leader by facing the real life challenges. Developing as a leader is a career-long endeavor. A leader has to upgrade himself over the time, because this is the quality of good leadership. That means a leader has to upgrade himself over the time, and he should be a good learner too. At the end, I would only say that we all have a leadership style. We all have leaders in every one of us. Be it a person who is an actor, leader, politician, housewife, teacher, an individual, even Toastmasters. People who are playing a role of Toastmaster of the day, general evaluator, table topic master, and other evaluators. They have their leadership style. And by using that leadership style, they can bring the meaning into the lives of people. So I have discovered my leadership style. Have you identified yours? Over to the Toastmaster of the day. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Prashant, for telling us about the leadership style. I'm sure we can implement it in our life and develop leaders in us. So now quick 90 seconds for providing feedback to Prashant. Timer, please note 90 seconds. Anyone who wants to give feedback to Toastmaster Prashant on his speech, please raise your hand. Yeah, Toastmaster Rahul, please give feedback to Toastmaster Prashant.
Toastmaster Prashant, I believe more conviction was needed at times when you forget, or you could have brought more energy. Energy was less. So we understand what you want to say, your leadership style. All the best.
Thank you.
Anyone else who wants to provide feedback to Toastmaster Prashant? For me, I can provide feedback to him. So he was good in his very insightful presentation. We learned about the leadership styles. The only area it's good to do, it's not something which was bad. Like he can improve his gestures while he was moving here and there. It could be a little more focused toward the screen. His gestures were good. Would have been good if it would have been a meeting room fixed with the audience here and there. But this time it was just a straight focus. So his focus should be there on the screen. Okay. Anyone else who would like to provide feedback to Toastmaster Umashankar?
So one good thing was that he spoke about coaching leadership, and he is a trainer and coach. So it was very much relatable that yes, he is talking sense. He is the guy who's talking about it. Second aspect on the recommendation side, he spoke less about his experiences. He was talking about the coaching leadership in general, but not his own experiences. So that's what.
Okay. So I guess timer, do we have a time left for one more feedback? Okay. That means we have or we don't have? Okay, so let's utilize this opportunity to provide feedback to our first speaker, Toastmaster Lakshya. That time we couldn't cover this. So anyone who wants to provide feedback to Toastmaster Lakshya? Again, I can see hand from Toastmaster Rahul. Rahul, please provide feedback to Toastmaster Lakshya.
Thank you, Deven. Lakshya, you spoke very well about how we can enhance our brand. There are few things you need to work on, like your when you say people, it has to be spelled out right. It has been mentioned many times. You need to work on like your right pronunciation. And like the flow, pace could have been more better, more fast at times. And that's all from my side. Looking forward to have more speeches.
Yeah, I would like to provide feedback to him. So again, his content was good and relatable to the topic and the pertinent to the time which we are all going through. The only thing which I found could be improved was the voice modulation. If he could have been bringing in more voice modulation, that could have been better. That's it from my side. So now, anyone else? Okay, so let's move to our third and the last prepared speaker for the day, Toastmaster Umashankar. And before I invite him on stage, I would like to call upon his evaluator, Toastmaster Rahul, to state his speech objective. Toastmaster Rahul, please.
Toastmaster Umashankar is going to deliver project 1 from level 2. Understanding your leadership style. The purpose of this project is for a member to identify his primary leadership style or styles. The purpose of this speech for a member to share some aspects of his primary leadership style, discuss in general. All the best, Umashankar.
So before I invite Toastmaster Umashankar on a stage, I would like to share one funny, or rather an incident which he used power of reaction and not responded. He reacted. So in one of the Toastmaster meetings, just outside of the meeting, one of the lady Toastmaster, she was talking with 5-6 of her male friends. And Umashankar tried to be funny and just went there and told that lady that you are looking like a Draupadi because you are talking in between among 5-6 people. So that joke was very badly perceived, and that lady got offended. Later on, Toastmaster Umashankar realized that he could have avoided that sort of joke, and from that point onwards, he always bear in mind to crack a right kind of joke. So now I invite on stage Toastmaster Umashankar. Employees first, Toastmaster Umashankar. Please give him a big round of applause.
A leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. John Maxwell said. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and dear guest. Just like Prashant, I'm also going to talk about the leadership topic today. So we have taken same paths and the topics are similar. When I did the survey on the Pathways Bootcamp, I was able to figure out that what is my dominating leadership style. And guess what? It came out as affiliative leadership. Any one of you heard about affiliative leadership? I did double MBA. I did not have any idea. What is this all about, this affiliative leadership? It was something new for me as well. Then I Googled it. What is this all about? Affiliative leadership. Well, the first thing first, what is the meaning, exact meaning of this word affiliative? So, affiliative is getting connected with others. So when we are talking in the context of a team, it means that as a leader, I'm trying to connect, trying to establish affiliation, trying to get affiliated to my team members on an emotional level, at a personal level. Made some sense. A leader who is emotionally connected with his teammates. Well, who did this? So Daniel Goleman is the person who defines 6 styles of leadership, coaching leadership, Prashant talked about, and affiliative leadership is also one the same person, same gentleman had shared. Can you figure out some examples about this? Who are affiliative leaders? The reputed affiliative leader. Well, Dalai Lama is what? He gets to the core of his followers, connect with them, and he become their leader. Not by command, it's their choice because they feel connected to their leader. Can you think about any company which is following similar sort of pattern? Well, Google did a survey and they were able to figure out that 81% of the employees feel that they are psychologically safe in Google. Why? They have certain parameters, certain things working for them. In India, Tata Group is one. It's not about salary. It's not about the kind of perks this company can give, but it's a kind of connect, the emotional bonding. There are 3 generations of employees, all of them working for Tata Group, and they feel proud of the fact. Well, I work with Excel Technologies, and one of the CEO, the ex-CEO, Vineet Nair, written a book by the name of Employees First, Customer Second. This is the same thing I used to hear since last 15 years, but I was not aware it's affiliative leadership. When you connect to your employees, your followers. Well, I have got this, leadership. I have been running I have been an entrepreneur for the last 6 years and a couple of startups I'm doing. There are a few people who are connected with me and I'm doing certain kind of work with them. And I feel that yes, I'm an affiliative leadership. What kind of leadership I have got? So there are a few characteristics which I was also able to relate to me and I'll share with you. First thing first is the honesty. Need to be honest with your employees. It's not a choice. It's given at all point of time. You will be honest, sincere. You will share whatever you are feeling, whatever the scenario is. Honesty is one. They're expert in delegation. Yes, I feel like that I do less of a work. I'm like Aditya here, Aditya Sharma in TMOD or any Toastmaster meeting, a president. They are not supposed to do anything. It's always about the team. They are supposed to be experts in delegation. I feel that yes, communication is another part. When you are trying to connect with all of your followers, your employees, your reportees, you need to communicate. You need to communicate too much, too often. That's important. Then when you give the freedom to employees, when they feel connected, you need to give them freedom as well, freedom to do whatever they wish to do, what kind of ideas they have. If they wish to do any new thing, let them do. You need to be calm at all the time. Look at the example of the Dalai Lama, right? So he has been exiled from his country, but nothing doing, no problems. If he's in India, he's, fucking fine. He's calm as the cucumber. They are intuitive, they're inspiring. So I feel like, yes, I try to do that. I'm not sure how much I'm able to inspire, but yes, I try to do. What kind of this kind of leadership, where it works more? It works more when your company, your team, your context is in crisis. You need your employees to join together. You want them to become a good unit, one unit. Then you need to apply this kind of leadership. They will go out, they will do wonders for you. What are the wrong things? What kind of problems you feel? What kind of problem an affiliative leader like me can feel? Poor performer will not get positive or right feedback. It's always goody happening in the team, and at times it feels difficult that you might offend someone and they will not do the good things for you. So the productivity of an organization as a whole tend to decrease. Long term, I feel that yes, it's important to take the short term hit to become a winner in long term. If you have a team that trust you, they have faith in your ability, you're giving them freedom, in long term they are going to exit. That's always there. So affiliative leadership is like you are getting connected to your followers, your reportees, your employer, giving them freedom, making them win the game. What you are doing, they are winning the game. What I feel is that a genuine leader is not a searcher for consensus, but a molder of consensus. Martin Luther King said. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Umashankar. Now, quick 90 seconds for providing feedback to Umashankar. Anyone who wants to provide feedback to Umashankar, please raise their hands. I can see any hands, so I'll provide feedback by myself. So his speech was very good. Like he converted the theoretical concept into the real life examples. He gave examples of Martin Luther King, Dalai Lama. So that was very impressive, and that brought audience into the awareness and the engagement to his topic. So it was, yes, the tone was serious, like he was talking about the leadership and that. So the only good to have thing is he could have raised his voice a bit in places. So it would have been more engaging. That's it from my side. Anyone else who wants to provide feedback to Toastmaster Umashankar?
I would request Sachin Malik's feedback as well. I'm unmuting you. Sachin. You have to do it.
Thank you, Umashankar, for asking me to give you the feedback quickly. I did find a similar response. I did find it that you had been pretty good from the beginning, as in you had been consistent in your tone from the very beginning. But at times there were challenges with the clarity of the words. For example, when you were talking about the word communicate, it was coming as communicate. So there were parts of the words missing, and also the body language was little laxed. It was appearing as if you want to give a wonderful message, you want to give a message which excites people. At the same time, the body language was not reflecting the same. I understand this is a platform where you have it's a digital platform. It is different from how we do it in a Toastmaster meeting, but at the same time, maybe a posture which is sit up straight would have added to this thing. I'm sorry, I'm giving the recommendation part very quickly.
That's very good.
Thank you.
Okay, anyone else? Yeah, Toastmaster Aditya, please provide feedback to Toastmaster Umashankar.
Thank you, Deven. I think it was Umashankar's speech reflected his experience. As he said that he and Prashant have similar experience in terms of coaching. He gave his own examples of how he has led the team and giving examples of Tata and his own experience in the company and what all he has gained from that. My only recommendation is, since if the speaker can stand up and speak, we'll be able to know more about the body language. Actually, more better. Since we have followed this for, let's say, speech contest, if you can follow it for even a regular meeting, we'll get into that habit. And if we need to do it again in the speech contest in the future, we'll be ready. So if this is a genuine feedback for all speakers, if they can stand up and speak, and if it's possible, if the camera setting and everything works out, it will be good. If the settings work out, it will be appropriate, and we'll have a more idea of the entire body language of the speaker, which can be evaluated by the evaluator as well. Because right now, even the evaluator is hindered by your sitting, so they won't be able to give more feedback on your body language. They'll probably concentrate on your voice modulation. So that's my only recommendation. Thank you.
Thank you, Aditya. So now starting with the most interesting section of our today's meeting, that's impromptu speaking. And for that, I would like to call upon our Toastmaster Gaurav, who is also the table topic master for today's meeting. So Toastmaster Gaurav, please come onto the stage. And before that, I would like to give one small suggestion. As most of the cameras are off, you can also randomly pick the people, even if you can't see their hands raising. Thank you. Please give him a big round of applause.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Deven, for this opportunity. So welcome everyone to this most exciting session of our Toastmasters Club. Its main objective is to challenge the member to develop their impromptu communication skills, to think on the spot and deliver their speeches. So in order to get qualified, the time limit is of you have to speak at least for 1 minute and maximum up to 2 minutes, with a grace period of 30 seconds on maximum side. So that is maximum you can speak up to 2 minutes, 30 seconds. So without wasting any more time, any volunteers now? Okay. So Toastmaster Mansi, you have to choose a number from 1 to 12.
Number 4.
Number 4, okay. Number 4. So your topic is, you can see the topic?
Yes.
If the entire world is listening you, what one thing will you tell to them? Toastmaster Mansi, if entire world is listening you, what one thing you will tell to them?
Thank you, Toastmaster. If world is listening to me, I would say that every day is an amazing day. Whether we are locked down or we are not locked down, we should go ahead with the same enthusiasm, with the same set of learnings that we really want to do in any time. Say, today we are sitting here. We have the opportunity to connect with Toastmaster meetings in the entire world, which was a dream. So I'm not saying that difficult times are being invited for the same, but I would say that whenever there is a difficult time, you never know the opportunities which you were looking for, or things or the dots that you were connecting with, there can be a way to that. In spite of the fact that the world is waiting for someone else to take the to do the task, I would say you should be motivated. One should be motivated from within. What we can do, how we can proceed with the things, rather than somebody coming to me and telling me do this. With this, over to Toastmasters. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mansi. It was nice to hear you on that. So any other volunteer? So I can see a guest Sonika, I think, because I can't see your name. Yes. So guest Sonika. You have to choose a number from 1 to 12. Could you please unmute him?
Yeah.
Toastmaster Deven. Yes. So what is your number?
Number in what sense? What context?
You have to choose a number from 1 to 12.
Okay. 5.
Okay, that's great. So your topic is, what would you be, wise or intelligent? Guess Sonic, what would you rather be, wise or intelligent?
Good morning, everyone. Today I was asked to choose between to be wise or to be intelligent. So in that context, I would rather choose the option of being a wise person, because ever since whatever you do in this environment, in this society, you have to bear the knowledge of everything, because having the wisdom or having the knowledge, you can pass on your ideas or your knowledge to your uh, friends, your uh, subordinates, or any other people. So to make everyone be clear about how to behave in the society, how to uh, clear the path of full of obstacles, you need to share the knowledge. And knowledge, as in, it doesn't mean it's a something is related to theory or written on your on any textbook or any scriptures. It also carries your experiences. Your experiences in your life teaches a vast portion of your journey. So to help people to improve others, you need to share your knowledge, your wisdom to everyone. That's the thing is most important in today's life. Thank you.
Thank you so much, guest Sonic, for your views. So, any volunteer? Guest Aditya. So, guest Aditya, you have to choose a number from 1 to 12. Toastmaster Deven, could you please unmute?
Yeah, so number I choose is 10.
Okay.
Thank you.
Could you please change it?
Okay, 1.
Okay. Your topic is my favorite incident in school. Guess Aditi, my favorite incident in school. Over to you.
Thank you. My favorite incident in school. I'm sorry, but it's taking me a lot of time to recall and nothing is coming in my mind. I think, yeah. So when I was in my primary school from first class to fifth class, it was a DAV school, and we used to conduct those beautiful Vedic ceremonies, which we call as havans. So I still remember the mantra chants that used to happen, and all of us, the students, used to enjoy that. It used to be a festive environment in our school, and we were actually excited to learn those Vedic mantras in Sanskrit. And a lot of my friends, I remember, we used to chant those mantras and used to compare who is chanting better, and it was a really fun environment and festival sort of ceremony every Saturday. So I think those were the really favorite incidents for me in my school, that I really used to have fun with my friends, and used to enjoy the environment, and the teachers were not really strict at that time. So yeah, that's my favorite memory from school. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing your views. So, any other volunteer? Toastmaster Tanweer. So you have to, could you, Deven, just unmute him. So Tanweer, you have to choose a number from 1 to 12.
9.
9?
Yeah.
Okay. So here is your topic. If I were invisible, I would. Toastmaster Tanweer, if I were invisible, I would. Over to you.
Okay, so my topic is, if I'm out invisible, what I'll do. So it's really it's really good topic for me, I think. And what I believe is what I'll do. I'll travel all across the world. This is my dream, and that is what I will do. And what I'll do the most is I'll travel almost all those seven wonders, especially. And I just want to check why those are seven wonders. Okay, and then I will visit especially to US White House, and I want to see what exactly is there in White House, and I'll go Paris, and then I'll go to Singapore, and I'll see something there because there are like man-made entire island there. So I'll go there and I'll experience that thing. And in India, what I'll visit especially Andaman and Kerala for their beauty and nature and sceneries. And yes, but yeah, one thing which I would like to do in India, if I'm invisible, is I'll check all those public bureaucrats who is there in public domain, especially to see what exactly and how they are doing their job, and in this situation nowadays, because it's something which everybody should appreciate for them, because this is some tough time, and I want to see what exactly they are doing and how they are doing. And this is some I would rather appreciate them if I could help something by doing something in that scenario. That's all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Tanweer, for your views. So, any other volunteer? Timer, do we have time for that? Okay, so, or else I'm going to pick someone. Guess Harjeet. Am I audible to you?
Yes.
Okay, that's great. So you have to choose a number. That's great. You have to choose a number from 1 to 12.
7.
Okay. And your topic is, guess Harjeet, social networks are the real drugs today. Social networks are real drugs today. Guess Harjeet. Over to you.
Okay. Okay. So hello everyone. First, I would like to introduce myself. So I'm a new joining in this group. So this is my first Toastmaster meeting. Okay, and I got the reference from Gopal Juneja. We have worked together in my current organization. Gopal moved to Samsung, but actually working for Global Logic. So regarding the topic for today, like is so I would say yes, the social I would say social apps are the drugs for today. So whenever we are like sleeping or whatever we are doing, we always check for the WhatsApp messages or the Facebook messages, whatever. Do we have any notifications or that type of thing? We are always like always like following the same, and whatever the news or whatever the things we got, so we always want to inform our friends like on a first basis, like if you got any news or whatever the thing is. So we always like to share with the groups or the people I know. I think that's it from my side. I think that's it. Is that audible?
Yeah. Thanks, Harjeet. Thanks for your views on social media network as a real drug or not.
Oh,
so, any more volunteer? Toastmaster Sonika. Okay, Toastmaster Sonika. So choose. You have to choose a number. Deven, just unmute her.
Number 2.
Okay, number 2. So your topic is. Okay, your topic is the most embarrassing situation in my life.
The most embarrassing situation of my life. That I really.
Over to you.
Okay, I can share my last experience. Um, Actually, I'm really scared of table topics, and I hardly participate in table topics. Though this is a table topic session, coincidentally, the embarrassing situation was related to it. Um, Last time I was just picked up by someone. I was attending online meeting. I was just picked up by someone, and the table topic master has given me such topic that I just get blank whenever I come on the stage and I'm given a topic on the spot, and I was just not able to think about that topic. I was not understanding that topic, and I just got blank and was not able to understand it. I then I request the table topic master to change it, and then he gives the tougher topic, and I was also not able to figure out about that topic. Then it was really embarrassing. Lots of people were there, and I'm not a so new member. I was not able to say anything, and I was really feeling bad. So from that day, I decided, no matter what, whether I will be able to speak or not, I would participate. I will face that fear. Um, in Maybe I will not be able to say a word in one time, two time, three time, four time, but one day I will able be I will be able to speak on table topic sessions. So it was embarrassing, plus I took it as a motivation as well. So this is all about the topic I am given today. Over to the table topic master. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Sonika, for your sharing your embarrassing moments. So, timer. Do we have time? Could you please unmute him, Deven?
Yes, I think we are just one last topic. I think we can just.
Okay, we can take up with one more. So, any volunteer or anybody who is interested. We can't take up with role players. So, Prashant, Toastmaster Prashant. Okay. Toastmaster Deven, could you please unmute him? So, you have to choose a number from 1 to 12.
Can we take the number which has already been chosen?
Topics are fixed.
No, that's okay. But okay. So
okay, you choose. I'll give according to my own choice. It's up to you.
I can go for number 4.
Okay. But I'll give the topic according to my choice. So, Toastmaster Prashant Saini, your topic is, if you're able to travel back in time and fix a mistake, which one would you fix? If you were able to travel back in time and fix a mistake, which one would you fix? Over to you.
Okay, if I get a chance to travel back in time and fix a mistake. There was an incident when I had a challenge of speaking English. So I believe I've already discussed this before as well. But yes, it was a life-changing moment for me because I was not able to speak English, and an incident happened in my life, like when I was in college. I was standing nearby the library, so that was a life-changing moment. So I can share that. So a lady walked up to me and asked me, "Where's the way to stairs?" And my response was, "Huh?" Then she looked at me for some seconds and she walked away. So, and somebody, there was a person who was standing with me, and he said, "That's good that your face looks like that you can speak English." And this was the biggest challenge. So if I get a chance to change or just to fix the moment, then I will fix it. Like I can go back, I can improve on that. I can take it some time back so that I could change it and improve a lot, because it took lot of time, like 5-6 years for me to improve. And that way I could empower millions of lives, and I could not. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Prashant, for sharing your views on the thing which you like to fix in your past. Over to you, TMOD Toastmaster Deven.
So I'll take it up.
Okay, so
Would
over
like
to you.
to hand over stage to
Thank you, Gaurav,
Toastmaster
for that
Aditya.
exciting session. Now it's time for the third session, which is also important, as it is often said that feedback is the breakfast of champions, and in Toastmasters we follow what is called, if you can see on my screen, we follow this sandwich approach. It's commend, recommend, and commend. So this is the approach usually the speech evaluators follow. So we'll be working on this, and as each evaluator talks about, gives their respective evaluation, I'll talk more about this. Now I'll call our first evaluator. Our first speaker was Toastmaster Lakshya, and now I'll be calling his evaluator, Toastmaster Mansi, to give the speech evaluation. Over to Mansi.
Sometimes when you're about to react, wait. It's important.
Good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me, guys? All right. So the speaker and the speech is the area of evaluation in Toastmaster setup, wherein we talk about the speech that is given on the day itself. So speaker started with thanking some of the members, which is a nice way of interaction. But I think speech is a performance. And when we are performing something, we should immediately get to our focused area so that the speech can be built up with a good opening, body, and the closing. So that is something which can be taken as a consideration. And I found the speech to be an educational speech, which is for a technically backward person like me was a great learning experience. So I really liked the speech, and it was motivational for anyone who has a dream to be part of social media. The speaker very vividly portrayed his personal experience, which is being reflected in the manner the speech was flowing smoothly. Kudos for that. Even the facts and figures which were being shared were in very simple language so any layman could understand. And also, the entire world view was being set up just at click of a button, which was really marvelous. Overall, the speech had an opening, body, and close. Also, lastly, a paper was disturbing the speaker, so next time he can keep in mind to sit in a comfortable position, so anything and everything which comes in his way of performance is already far away, so that he and his performance is being portrayed in the or to the audience and people around. Lastly, I would say I would like to see the speaker again and again on the stage so that we get to hear good speeches, and also he develops a good style for himself. Over to Toastmaster. Thank you.
Toastmaster Mansi for that constructive feedback. Our second speaker was Toastmaster Prashant, and he will be evaluated by Toastmaster Gopal. So over to Toastmaster Gopal.
Good afternoon, everyone. There are leaders in all of us. This is the line which changed my perception of leadership. I was not with this perception that there are leaders in all of us. My perception was different, that there are some leaders, there are some IC track people who work independently. But this changed my perception. Thanks for this, giving us this insightful, great data about the leadership styles and how to find out the leadership style. And the best part of the speaker was the way he took pause in between. That is the great thing that I learned from this speech today. And the good uses of pause made this speech really commendable and consumable for the audience. And the second thing best was his audible voice. He was quite audible. Being a coach, of course, he has to be audible, and his this coaching reflection was reflecting here in his speech. Now, all the speech can be taken one step ahead by doing some more better things within this. The first thing that I noticed was speaker was moving front and back. So if speaker avoid this movement front and back, though the of course speaker was standing in front of camera, but the movement front and back was a little disturbing for the audience. And the second thing that I noted was gesture was not in the sync with the words. For example, when user was saying, I have a question, I have one question for all of you. So that gesture should be in sync with the words which we are saying. The speaker was using this hand like this and this only. Other than this, there was not much gesture. So gesture improvement will make this speech more impressive. And above all, the speech was great, and all the data, all the content was good, and speech delivery was good. Good uses of pause was there, and the improvement area, which is the moment, gesture, and some voice variety need to be added. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gopal, for that detailed evaluation. And now we move on to our final speech evaluator. The final speaker was Toastmaster Umashankar, and he will be evaluated by Toastmaster Rahul. Over to Toastmaster Rahul.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Well, 2 years back, when I wanted to have more followers on my Instagram, I advertised and I got around 1,000 followers. And after some time, all left, few remained. And then I started paying people to be my follower. What happened? So they will say, pay me again. And now I started a new campaign. I started knowing them. And now in 2 years, I have more than 10,000 followers. I can connect with the speaker very well. He started with a quote and ended on a quote, and they are aligned. Every company has a foundation, and the foundation is very simple: finding the why. And here, the speaker discussed about his leadership style, and I realized the meaning of it. He explained the meaning of it very well. What is the meaning of it? To get to know each other emotionally and personally. He researched very well. He talked about the companies like Tata, why people are there, Google. And why connection is important in company. Like in Toastmasters, why we are still here? Because the connection is real. I jump to recommendations. We have just 2 recommendations, but very important. As the Toastmaster is a veteran Toastmaster, I was looking forward a personal story where you experienced that leadership style. You followed. Like I have, for example, you could have said that I use this. Few people, they were not able to connect with me, or they were not working very well. And I got to know them. And now they get to know and they delivered very well. Second thing is, you could have brought more emotions, more conviction into your speech while you are speaking. It was just you were speaking from the surface. It should be from inside out. Yes, I have done it. And it is real. Overall, very uplifting. Being a manager in a school, now I know how to get to know people from the scratch, how to involve them, to know their needs, their wants, make a soulful connection with them. It was an eye-opening. Well structured, well defined, well explained, good usage of research. Just two recommendations: personal story could have been employed, more conviction and emotion could have been used by the speaker. And overall uplifting and eye-opening. All the best, Toastmaster Umashankar. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rahul, for that detailed evaluation and being cognizant of the objectives. Now let's move on to our supplementary evaluators, the four most important evaluators of the Toastmaster meeting, without which it's impossible to go ahead. So I'll start with the R counter Toastmaster Tanweer. Tanweer.
You have to unmute him.
Yeah, okay. Done.
Yeah, thank you so much, Toastmaster G. So the first TMOD, and sound was to and to from Deven, and Toastmaster Gaurav, one one so, and speaker TM Lakshya, 5 and 1 and general evaluator TM Sonika, TM Sonika. There are 4 sounds were there in your evaluation part, and TM Gopal, there were 2 sound was there, and Mansi, TM Mansi, there was 2 sound was there, and TM Tanveer, myself, there was a 4 sound, 1 sound was there from my side. TM Digant, there was 1 sound. TM Shivansh, there was 2 sounds. TM Sonika, there was 1 sound. Sachin from guest Sachin was 4 1 sounds were there. Sonika, guest Sonika, there are 5 1 sound was there. Guest Aditya, there were 3 sounds and 2 so sounds were there. Guest Harjeet, sorry. There were 3 sounds, 2 s so, and yeah, so sound. This was the general evaluator. Back to general evaluator, Aditya.
Thank you, our counter Tanveer, for that detailed report. Now we'll move on to the grammarian, and we'll know if we use the grammar words appropriately, what were the recommendation and the commendations by the grammar, and whether we use the word of the day and how many times we use the word of the day. So now the stage is handed over to the grammarian, Toastmaster Shivansh.
Sorry, Aditya. Rahul, Digant just informed me that his device is not working. So can you take care of timings? Okay. Digant is here again. Okay. Yeah.
So over to Shivansh.
Thank you, General Evaluator, for giving me the stage.
I will present my till now what I have timed. I will present the report also.
Hello.
Rahul?
Should I give my report? Because the timer told me that he's going to give me the time.
No, Shivansh, please go ahead.
Go ahead, Shivansh.
All right. So before I give my report, I'd just like to point out that with the grammatical mistakes that we make are not intentional, obviously, and we should not be afraid of mistakes, because mistakes are only learning experiences. All right, so I have a very detailed report, so bear with me. I'll be speaking at a very high fast pace. All right. So coming to the president's address, the president beautifully used the word of the day once, then handing the stage to the Toastmaster of the day. I did not find any grammatical errors, which was great. And in fact, I learned some new words such as befitting and pertinent. Then come to the first speaker. The first speaker in his speech made 4 mistakes. He used the word that twice. The word that twice is used very rarely and not in the context that a speaker used it. The speaker also used the phrase more pupil, which is incorrect. It is the word pupil can be replaced with the word people. It sounds better. It is a better grammatical improvement. Then the speaker used the word vigilante. The word should be the word which was supposed to be used was vigilant. Vigilante has a different meaning. Then coming to the second speaker, there were no mistakes, which is amazing. The third speaker, Toastmaster Umashankar, I'd just like to suggest that when we quote a famous personality, we usually address the person first. And if we are addressing the person later after saying the quote, then we usually use the phrase the name followed by quoted. Like you said you used the word said John Maxwell. It could have been the great John Maxwell said. Other than that, the speaker used the phrase "it's the kind of connect." The phrase which should have been used was the phrase which should have been used should be "it's the kind of connection." Then moving on to the table topics, there was a mistake in the topic given to the speaker, which is the words listening you were used instead of listening you. The words listening to you should have been used. Then coming to a second speaker, the speaker introduces topic by saying that I was asked. Instead of saying I was asked, the speaker should have said that I am asked, because the topic was given in present tense and should be followed with that. Then coming to the third speaker, the speaker used the words the DAV school. The phrase should have been I was in DAV school, or it was DAV school. Then the speaker also, third speaker also used the phrase festival ceremony. It could have been festive ceremony to denote the meaning better. The fourth and fifth speaker were flawless. The sixth speaker used the words last experience. It could have the words used should have been latest experience or most recent experience. And the word of the day was only used once, which is very sad. The Toastmasters should try and use the word more often, as it will only add to their vocabulary. And the idiom of the day was not used at all. So I guess we all can improve on that. Thank you.
Thank you, Shivansh. And now we move on to our fourth supplementary evaluator, which is also an interesting role, and that is the role of the listener. We know whether we were attentive in the meeting when the listener asks us questions. So keep your ears open and answer the questions, and we know how attentive you were. So over to Sonika.
So welcome to my interesting questionnaire session. So who will answer my question? Toastmaster Deven will give him a digital chocolate. So I would like to start with my question. Please raise your hand, or you can also give a thumbs up, because I can see the thumbs up emoji. So any volunteer who wants to participate, who wants to answer my question? I'm going to ask very easy questions. Anyone, or please write your name in the chat. because I'm having some trouble. I'm not able to use much options, and I'm not able to see any hand or chat, any name in chat. I have limited time, please.
Can you repeat the question?
I have not asked the question yet. I'm picking the person first, then we'll ask my question. Anyone? Anyone except Toastmaster Deven? Toastmaster Deven, can you tell me the name if someone is raising hand? Or
Aditi, guest Aditi.
Guess Aditi. Your question is from Toastmaster Lakshya's speech. Wait a minute, 1 second. How much time on an average a person spend on social media? Toastmaster Aditi. Sorry, guest Aditi.
No, I could not catch that.
Okay, how much time on an average a person spend on social media? I can give the option if you want, because I know this is a figure, it's a numerical figure. Whether it's 4.8 minute, 3.5 minute, or 1.42 minute. A
4
person
point.
spend time.
4 point.
Okay, you will not get the digital chocolate because it's 1.42 minute. But I really like the attempt. Anyone else? Toastmaster Devin, can you help me by telling me the name?
I can see the green. Lakshya. Lakshya raised the hand.
Toastmaster Lakshya, your question is, what is Toastmaster Prashant's style of leadership? I'm repeating the question. What is Toastmaster Prashant's style of leadership? Because he talked about the leadership in his speech.
Coaching leadership.
Very nice. You can ask for the digital chocolate from Toastmaster Deven. Any next volunteer? Toastmaster Deven, can you help me?
Just a minute, even I can't see anyone raising hand. Ask question first, then people will raise hands.
Okay, the question is, this question is from Toastmaster Umashankar's speech. On which type of leadership did he talked about in his speech?
I can answer it.
Yes,
yes, Toastmaster Rahul.
Yes, Sachin.
Sachin.
Affiliate.
Very nice. Very nice. Affiliated leadership. Can you also explain its meaning? The word affiliated. He also mentioned that meaning in his speech. Okay, no problem. It's getting connected.
Getting connected with others.
Emotionally,
With
yes,
others.
and personally. Yes. Anyone else? I guess my time is up now. Listeners get very less time. So over to the journal evaluator. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sonika, for attempting a good session on the listeners' role. And now I'll give my report. So let's start with that. And give me a thumbs up if you feel that the meeting was exciting and you all enjoyed. All right. So it was a good start to the meeting. We started on time. In fact, we came half an hour early to have a briefing and understand that how we can allow role players, and in light of few incidents that have happened over the past couple of days, this was a good initiative by all the members to come early. And this is a general recommendation that please do come half an hour, 20 minutes before time so that we can have a bit of a briefing. And if any role player has a question, if anybody is not coming, if we can substitute a role player like we had to do with Sonika, and we had to do it quickly. If such situations arise, because they do arise in a physical meeting, so they can arise in an online meeting, so to be cognizant of that, if role players can come at least 15 to 20 minutes before the actual meeting so that we can be ready. If there is a need to substitute somebody or add a role, like the listener's role was added at the last second, if such things are going to happen, please do come at least 15. At least this is for all the role players who are playing a role, the speakers, the role players, the anchors, the supplementary evaluators, as well as the important members of the EC team, please do come on time so that we can work on these modalities. So apart from that, the meeting started on time. The SAA, as always, his experience, he has been doing this role for a long time, so he reiterated all the rules and also told us that we'll keep yourselves on mute while the other speakers are speaking. So that was a very good initiative, right? So a good job done by the SA, and continue to keep doing that job. The president, well, this might seem a clash, but the president welcomed all the guests and reiterated the rules again, and we'll also reiterate again that when a speaker is speaking, the others can keep themselves on mute, and we have appointed co-hosts per session so that if you need to be unmuted, we'll be able to do that in a manner which won't interrupt the meeting. Then moving on to the TMOD, Deven, an omnipresent individual who has now an experienced TMOD and comes up with thought-provoking topics and also giving us examples of the same. And he introduced each speaker and showed that the TMOD had worked hard behind the scenes, made sure that every speaker had answered the question, knew what was the project being attempted, knew what was the speech title. So an excellent job done by the TMOD. The only recommendation is try and have more enthusiasm in your theme so that we can all be involved. And you can ask questions also if at last minute impromptu questions can also come up. You can ask the members also. So that was an excellent job. We also followed the protocol of having evaluation after every speaker, and we will continue to do that in future meetings. Moving on to the speech evaluators, as I said, we follow the CRC approach. That is the sandwich approach. That is commend, recommend, and commend. And what we saw from the three evaluators, speech evaluators today, was what a near perfect evaluation should be. Not only did the speaker, not only did the evaluators talk about what were the good points of the speech, what were the recommendation, but they also gave examples as to how the speaker can improve. So any future speech evaluators take an idea from how a speech evaluation should go, because eventually speech evaluation is also a speech. So there needs to be a beginning, middle, and end. And this is what our three speech evaluators showed. And one more thing they showed, one more thing that Mansi, Gopal, and Rahul showed was, instead of taking the name of the speaker, they said the speaker, because the evaluations are for everyone. So that was an excellent job done by all the speech evaluators. Now let's move on to the supplementary evaluators. As always, we had a couple of debutants. We had our counter, Tanweer as a debutant, Grammarian Shivansh as the debutant, and they did an excellent job in this. The only recommendation is please stick to time in terms of the Grammarian, as he had a lot to say, so he could have made the speech, he could have just given an idea of what all mistakes we did in terms of grammar, and you could have shared the report simultaneously on the other times, right? And then moving on to the timer, yes, we had a few issues with the timing devices, but I think the timer did an appropriate job in terms of getting through the timings. He was aware of each speaker's timing and knew how to bring it up. My only recommendation is, if you can just show the green card instead of opening up that application again and again, if you can keep it there and just share the screen when your time comes to share the time, because opening up the screen again and again can be distracting. So if you can follow that protocol, it will be easier. If you can follow the digital timer online, that can also work. So this is the only recommendation for the timer. Moving on to the last added rule of the listener, Sonika. Despite getting the role at the nth second, the listener did a brilliant job in asking questions. And if we can establish, till the time we are conducting online meetings, if we can establish a protocol for the listener and how the listener is going to ask how the listener will invite members and guests, and the rule has to be no speaker should be giving the answer because they know the answer to the questions. So we can also have that rule in this, that speakers may not be given a chance because they're aware of what their topic is. Apart from the speakers, the members, the guests, supplementary evaluators, they should be given more chances. And yes, there were a few technical issues, so other co-hosts can help the listeners that yes, this is the individual who raised their hand and they want to ask a question. If this kind of protocol can be adopted, then we can surely have this role in the future. Well, overall, an excellent meeting. There were no glitches and there were no interruptions. Everyone followed the protocol of keeping themselves on mute and speaking only when they were invited on the stage. So overall, an excellent meeting. And I will hand over the stage back to the TMOD, Deven.
Thank you, Aditya. Thanks for this detailed and wonderful, insightful report. Now, continuing with our theme of learning to respond and not to react. Sometime when you are about to react, wait, because the practicing the art of waiting is something which tells us how to analyze the situation instead of giving a knee-jerk reaction. Look back over your life and remember the times when you reacted and later on you regretted and realized that waiting would have been better for you and everyone else. I would like to share a very funny example of my friend. So when he was proposing to his girlfriend for marriage, he said, "Would you marry me?" So the girl replied, "I can marry you, but what can you do for me?" He said, "I can take you to the moon." And now after that marriage, that girl is after that boy's life. She's telling her that you wanted to take me to a moon and now you're not taking me to the Masuri even. So this is what the reaction of reacting. At that point of time, he reacted instead of responding. So the best way to practice the art of waiting is just to breathe in. Like when you are in such a situation, just breathe in. Just breathe in for 10 seconds, hold your breathing for next 10 seconds, and then exhale at the count of 10. It will help you gaining your mind in control again so that you will be in a position to respond betterly. In our life, we have many persons who are critical of us. So we should not make these people make us feel negative unless it is making us a good human being. I'll share my personal example. I was giving a speech at SDTM and there they have a practice of giving a written feedback. So I received two slips. In one slip, my strong area was written as good stage movement. And in another slip, my weakness was written as I need to work on the stage movement. So which one I should follow? The only thing you should follow is the one which you realize that you need to follow. So overall, my message is just always learn to respond and never react. This will help you being a better person, because the better person is not born in the maternity ward. The better person is born by your choices, and your choices are there in your mind and in your hand. So always respond, never react. Thank you. With that note, I would like to call upon our Toastmaster Rahul to present a presentation on motivating people. Please give him a big round of applause.
Thank you. I request someone to please take note of time. Time limit is 10 to 15 minutes. So at 10, at 12, at 14. So who will be doing that? Okay, thank you. Please, you can speak like green, yellow, and red. I will be sharing my screen. Okay. And I will be unmuting you. Until then, please, you can fill in the form for the voting. I hope you all can see the screen, right? So my first question is, why we do need to motivate people? Why it is required? And how it is helpful? So I'm asking Toastmaster Umashankar, why motivating people is required at all?
Well, you can influence them, you can mold them into the way you want, and maybe in manager's language, you can get the things done from others to others.
Okay. Toastmasters, Sonika? Yes.
Everyone wants to achieve something in their life, but sometimes they lose their motivation because of the obstacles they face in their life, and this happens with almost everyone. So it's important that sometimes we find someone that can motivate us, that can re-energize us, so that we can start achieving our goals with more enthusiasm and with more energy and with more motivation and dedication. So motivation and motivating people is very important. So in fact, I also choose this strategy to motivate people. So I'm really gonna listen you very carefully.
Thank you. I request Sachin Malik to speak about it.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's so many people, and there's very little chance of us to be serving all by making a difference through any other way than motivating them. The only way we can actually make a difference to a larger, larger number of people is by motivating them through our words or by our actions. So there could not be a better way to reach out to as many people, to touch as many lives, than by motivating them.
Thank you. Toastmaster Gopal, line or two.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, I think motivation is something hidden stimuli which inspire us to do better, of course, and it is required for everyone. Everyone wants to do something better, and each and every step, each and every span of life, we need motivation to do something better. That's it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So, motivating people is needed, the need of the hour. Okay, this is a part of Leadership Excellence series, and it's a part of you hone something, you become a good leader, and you can give outside Toastmasters, you can help people as well by sharing your insights of your subject. Now, who am I and why I'm here to motivate you to listen to me and how I motivate people and who am I? Well, I'm an engineer and I work with I worked with 2-3 MNCs over time. I have, after that, I started working with school where leading 30 to 40 staff, handling them, motivating them. And also besides all this, I motivate people to write, to meditate, because it will change their life, it will transform their life. So now what is the first question I'm going to ask? Why motivating is required? We have answered. And now what I believe, motivating is required. If you are working, your company, your enterprise, or like in Toastmasters, we have a common goal. Common goal of achieving something, becoming better as a personal a leader, a good speaker. If I'm doing role of, sometimes you motivate people to get work done. You delegate some work. Like in school, I want a particular class to be taken care of very good. So I motivate my staff, go and do follow these 2 steps and you will be a good teacher. And in this way, I have empowered the staff and as well as work has been done. And while they are learning the skill of becoming better teacher, they have improved their skills. They have learned one more thing, one more step, how to become a better teacher. Now the point is how to motivate people. Now, again, I'm going to ask question. I request Aditi, guest Aditi to answer it. How to motivate people? Very important question. How? Deven, how to motivate people? You can unmute yourself. Yes.
How to motivate people?
Yes.
So, in my work experience and my studies, I read about Maslow hierarchy. So, like, you need to know where person is standing. Like, there are few levels. The first level is food, shelter, sex, or the basic belongingness need. So, you need to see at which level that particular person is into. Let's say if I talk about my workspace, there are few people who just joined the job. The basic need is money so that they can buy food for them, buy clothes for them. So for them, money is the biggest motivator. After that, other levels like social security need, belongingness need. So the person who is properly fed and properly clad, that person will go for a social need. So you need to give him that thing which will lead him in that direction. And so on and so forth. We have a self-actualization, like, you know, Ratan Tata, Bill Gates. These guys are on that top level. So money, social security can't motivate them. For them, the sense of helping others is important. So this is, you can motivate people by knowing their level of motivation hierarchy.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Deven. Now, very just, I need one answer from Sonika. Yes.
Hi,
one
Rahul.
Answer, one line.
Yeah. As per my experience, the basic way to motivate people is to listen to others, and before starting motivating in a situation, you just need to know the real problem among the people whom you are motivating, because without understanding the real basic problem, you can't change the way, you can't motivate people in a wider way. So basic understanding of the problem solving is the core thing which is required to motivate people.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Now, coming to how to motivate people. It can be the form of reward. You give them some rewards. It motivates people. As Devan mentioned very well, sometimes when you're working, you give them extra money for their doing. If you are working for extra hours, you pay them a bit extra and they will be happier. And sometimes if they do not work, you praise them for the work they have done. Like at Toastmasters, we praise, we have done this work very well. And by motivating them, in this way they learn and they do more. And one more thing, by giving more responsibility. If I tell you from tomorrow onwards, you are going to be doing this role, and it demands you to be more proactive, to make you have more time, yes, but you will be dealing all the things and you feel empowered. You feel something new I'm going to learn, something more, and you feel motivated. As it is easy to say how, but what are the steps? The first step, as we get to know, we have various ways to how to motivate people, but what is the step? If I am going to talk to Devan, what is the criteria? Does he need reward, money, praise, responsibility? Yes. How to go along? The first step is get to know them. Get to know Toastmaster Devan. Get to know Toastmaster Prashant. Get to know Toastmaster Umashankar. Get to know Sachin Malik. Get to know Rahul Sharma. What are their needs? What do they want? For example, Toastmaster Umashankar, he is running a company, Eagle Hunt. He needs people who the people who need jobs, they can, If you share their numbers and they are really willing and you know a job is there in the eagle hunt, in this way, you feel more connected. He might listen to you. And next time when you come up with some idea, he will definitely answer you. Just an
Have a
example.
green card, 10 minutes.
Thank you. Now, a second step, be transparent. You cannot say, I loved your speech, it was fantastic. And when he's gone or she's gone, you say, that was not a very good speech. Be transparent, be honest. Be honest. Speak from your heart. When you give respect, you get respect. When you are transparent, when you are convicted, it is visible from your aura, from your energy. And it makes a good bond with the people. And they listen to you. Step number 3, here. If yesterday I saw Toastmaster Gaurav, he was looking dashing, smart. And today if I tell him, Gaurav, you rocked yesterday, no timely feedback. Give your feedback on time, because that was the moment. I have seen in Toastmasters, when we do not care for members, after 6 months, 1 year, they tend to move. Because timely feedback is required even for the veteran speakers, veteran members, veteran Toastmasters. If you're a veteran in your company, it does not matter. Timely feedback is a key.
Rahul, yellow card.
If you have done very good job, appreciate them. If they have done some mistakes, tell them, learn from them. Learn from them and improve. This will be a timely feedback. And in this way, they feel more motivated and more connected. Sometimes people, they do not know their true potential. You can give them, you can do it. Yes, you have the potential. Just bring the spark, that hunger. And maybe not today, but maybe in 2-3 days, they are able to see through. And when you can say, yes, you can speak well, I will help you. Maybe at first they will start based on your faith, but over time they have their own learning, own experience. And learning from their own experience, they feel motivated and hence more connected. And they can do more. And they will never forget you for what you have done. The last step I'm going to share today is be flexible. I know maybe Toastmaster Gaurav will understand. If I tell him, Gaurav, we have a meeting just after 1 hour, be there. He might be, but Toastmaster Deven, Tanweer might not be there. Be flexible. That's okay. Increase creativity. Tell them, take their own time, but give them a vision. Gaurav, Tanweer, if you spend some time on your own skills, it's your own benefit. Maybe today you might not be available, but next week, please be there. It will help you to make yourself, to learn something new. And maybe next week when Gaurav will join again, he can see through. If he is motivated, yes. And in this way, he will be motivated. And in this way, when I say next time, Gaurav, we have writing sessions, will you be there? He will say, yes, I will be there. So we are going to recap in just 1 minute. Why motivating? Having a common goal, get work done, empower people, and they will have their skills developed. How? Reward, money, praise, more responsibility. Step 1, get to know them. What are their wants? Be respectful, be transparent. Give your timely feedback. Tanvi, you're looking smart today. Yes, appreciate them, help them. Prashant, you will do wonders in your next speeches, and you will have hunger to grow better and be flexible. Be more creative. Any questions if you have, we can handle it offline. Thank you. Start motivating and be motivated. Over to you.
Thank you. So I should hand back the stage to Toastmaster Aditya for his president's speech. Well, I guess there is some problem with his video or audio because he is unresponsive even on calls. Okay, and
yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, okay.
So thank you, Rahul, for that wonderful session and a motivating session. Now, before we proceed further, I would like to ask everyone, have you all voted?
No, we haven't received the link.
I'll just put the link. It's in the chat, this one.
No, we can't see chat here.
Okay, I'll put it in the WhatsApp group.
And I guess no one can see the chat.
Hold on. Can you see it in the WhatsApp group? I put in the WhatsApp group. Is it visible?
Yes, it is.
Please vote.
It's 1 o'clock.
Please vote. And till the time members and guests are voting, I would like to take feedback from our guests. Let's start with guest Sachin. You are on. Let's start with guest Sonika. If you can give your feedback about the meeting and if there are any recommendations.
Thank you for offering me the opportunity to give the feedback. As at the start of the meeting, I was asked to what motivated you, or what pushed you to join this club. I'm already aware of every activity this Toastmaster Club is running all over the world. And if you say for today's meeting, as a learner, I am very eager to learn more. So as a learning perspective, I am very satisfied as I used to be before also. So I am more eager to learn in the upcoming meetings. So I am finding it as a very good platform in terms of learning new skills in the parts of communication. That's it.
Thank you. Next, we have guest Sachin. If you can give your feedback about the meeting.
Okay, got it. Thank you, Toastmaster Aditya. I think just like missing your exercise reflects in your physical health, staying away from Toastmasters, your public speaking gym that we call, reflects in every single conversation, every single talk, every single speech that you utter out. And that reflected it by today's experience also. I'm talking about myself. So I saw that there's a lot missing from my end. And that was another reason I asked Umashankar to please put me through this meeting. And I found in whichever Toastmasters club, the back to basics program is always followed. We've always seen successful, those clubs being successful, like the team Phoenix Toastmaster, the Phoenix Toastmaster Club. I'm observing that we're following all the basics of the Toastmasters which need to be followed. Whenever we go here and there, sway away from the core basics, we always falter. But we've seen with this meeting, through this meeting, that this has been maintained. Whatever is required for a effective Toastmaster club to be done is being maintained here. All the basic norms, principles, rules are being followed. At the same time, it's a very welcoming atmosphere, and I have had a wonderful time. I've had a great time, incredible time. I would want to keep coming back to these meetings, and as much as possible. At the same time, given the time challenges I may have, I'm not sure if I would be able to come to the physical meetings very regularly, but I would make sure that I come to Phoenix Club as much as possible. Thank you so much, Aditya.
Thank you, Sachin. So we have the results with us. Please give a huge round of applause to all the winners. So the best speaker goes to, can anyone give a guess? We had 3 speakers, all of them were qualified. We had Prashant, there was Lakshya, and there was Umashankar. Well, as always, the best speaker goes to the most experienced of them all, Toastmaster Umashankar. Next, we have the best evaluator. It was a close call, and all the evaluators were brilliant in their evaluations. But as always, Toastmaster Rahul takes the pie.
Most experienced one.
Yeah. Then we have the table topic speaker. This one also experience gets in here as well. So it's Toastmaster Mansi. The best anchor, all 3 anchors did a wonderful job in their respective roles. But as always, we learn to respond to Toastmaster Deven. And the best supplementary role player, it goes to our debut supplementary role player, someone who joined us just a week back, and it goes to Toastmaster Tanweer. So with this, before we close, would anyone else like to give any recommendations? Any one of the guests, Aditya, Harjeet, they would like to give any kind of recommendations for any feedback, your experience in the meeting?
I mean, no recommendation, but I really enjoyed, and I really look forward after lockdown joining the physical meeting also. I mean, though the distance limits me because my location is in West Delhi, but I'll really look forward to. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you so much. So just a note for all the role players, if you want to take up any roles, contact Toastmaster Deven, and guests contact Toastmaster Rahul to know more about he is the VP membership. He'll give you the details about the fee structure and all if you are willing to join, and all the members who want to take up a role, member guests from other clubs, if you want to take speech slots and anything else, you can contact Toastmaster Deven as he is the VP Education. And with this, I formally call the meeting off, and we'll see you next Sunday, 19th April at 11 a.m. But all the role players, please assemble maximum by 10:45 so that we can go over the meeting protocols. And Toastmaster Rahul, would you like to add anything before we close?
I request Toastmaster Aditya to share their number, Aditya and Harjeet, so that we can update you about upcoming meeting, and you will be part of our online meeting. We are not allowing people from outside to be part of online meetings. Only people who are member or who are guests, we know. We will add you in our group, guest group, so that you can get to know more about the meetings. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Rahul, for giving that detailed protocol. And with this, I formally call the meeting off. So see you on 19th April, 11 a.m. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.